Making homemade pickles is a tedious task. It involves a number of steps in order to get the great pickle and the awesome flavor. On my mother's side of the family, we have been making spicy dill pickles for years. About mid-July every year, it is time to start the preparations. The first step in getting ready is gathering all of the jars and washing them. Quart-sized jars are the best to use, but you can use pint size as well as the half-gallon jars. After they have all been washed, let them air dry and place them on a flat surface. Every year, you must buy the new lids for the jars. The seal is lost after using them just once, so in order for the process to work, you must buy new lids to seal. You can find lids at about any store, from grocery stores to hardware stores or just a general merchandise stores. Along with the lids that fit the top of the jar, you need the rings to go around them. When it comes to getting the baby cucumbers to use for the pickles, you have to search. You can sometimes find them at farmers markets in your local town, or you may have to go to a farm that actually grows them. According to ChicagoTribune.com, cucumbers that are 2 to 4 inches in size are the best for pickling. Our family has a specific farm in Plattsville, Colorado, which is about 10 miles from Denver, that we purchase the baby cucumbers from. This specific farm is called Miller Farms. They grow all different types of produce and make their own honey. When we arrive at Miller Farms, many of the cucumbers have already been harvested and are in the bins. They allow you to go through the bins on your own and pick out exactly what you need and how many you will need. After picking all that you will need, you pay for them by the pound. Using a farm like this is usually a better bet than a farmer's market, as there is more of a selection. Our family usually ends up buying between 1 and 2 bushels of pickles from Miller Farms. While at the farm, we also buy the fresh dill. It is better to buy a lot of it, as you can never use too much. According to nutritiondata.self.com, fresh dill is very healthy. It is low in saturated fat and cholesterol, but high in dietary fiber and many other vitamins. Along with the dill, we spice the pickles with chili peppers, bay leaves, and whole black peppers. We put these in the jar with the brine, and it gives it more flavor. Once you have all of the ingredients gathered, you need to get the cucumbers ready. First, you must scrub them clean using cold water and a scrub brush. After you have scrubbed them clean, you need to rinse them off. After this, you put them in ice chests with cold water. Once the water is in, you put ice over the top of the baby cucumbers. Leave them to sit overnight. This way the pickles stay crispy rather than getting soggy and gross. The morning after the ice water, take them out and dry each of them off with a dry towel. Once they are all dry, you may begin packing them into the jars. Do not pack them so tight that there is no wiggle room. Be sure when putting them in the jars that all of the stems and blemishes have been removed. After the jars are full of cucumbers, begin adding the dill to the jars. The dill should be cut into pieces small enough to fit in the jars. You need to use both parts, the stem and part of the flour on the dill. Once the dill is packed into the jars, add 2 small chili peppers into each jar, 2 bay leaves, and 1 teaspoon of whole black peppers. These measurements are recommended for quart-sized jars. For other sized jars, such as the half-gallons, adjust spices accordingly. If you want to add a little different flavor, it's a good idea to add a clove of garlic to the jars. Next, it's time to add the brine to the pickle jars. Use a large canning pan. The brine consists of 6 quarts water, 1 cup pickling salt, and 1 teaspoon powdered alum. Combine all ingredients and bring to a boiling point, not to a full boil. Add 4 cups of cider vinegar and stir using a ladle. Once brine is done, use a largemouth funnel and a ladle to pour over cucumbers. Be sure that the liquid completely covers them in the jars. Pickle brine can be used for many other things. As reported by BonAppetit.com, it can be used to pickle eggs, onions, garlic, and other soft vegetables. It can be used as a meat tenderizer or to flavor other foods, and it can also be reused to pickle more things after you've eaten all of the pickles. Now that all of the jars are filled, it is time to seal them. Put the lids on, then the ring, and turn it as hard as you can so it seals as tight as possible. To that degree, ehow.com explains many other ways in which to seal jars tightly. Once the lids are on tight, put them on a flat surface to cool overnight. Be careful when moving the jars as they are very warm from the brine. If you hear pinging noises throughout the night, it's the sound of the lid sealing to the glass. The rubber connects to the glass on the jar. This is common as they cool down. After they have cooled down and you have moved them to storage the next day, you need to wait about 6 weeks to open a jar and eat them. This is our family's dill pickle recipe, and to us, they are the best. Of course, you can buy all sorts and types of pickles in any store. Looking at Vlasic.com, they make kosher baby holes, bread and butter chips, sweet gherkins, along with about 6 other types of pickles.